Alrighty, I'm recording this at 8:03 p.m. It's almost nighttime for me, and this is going to be a more straightforward video. This is going to be just straight up to the point, no bullshitting, no cut cards or whatever. Today has been an absolute catastrophe for the brand of Xbox. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I don't want to come off as a hater because I do indeed enjoy the Xbox platform. I've been playing a lot of games on there. I've been enjoying Expedition 33, which is a phenomenal game. Check that one out, most definitely, if you like turn-based RPGs. This is a fun game. Doom: The Dark Ages has been pretty fun on there as well. And I've been indoctrinated a bit into the Xbox brand for a while now. It's great. It's a great platform alongside my PS5. But what we have here is the Dark Day of Xbox Part 2. This is literally a full-on studio culling that I would say is even worse than Tango Gameworks and how they let them go. You know, they cut off one branch and then they cut off I think they cut off Arcane Studios, one of the Arcane Studios factions. I believe it was Arcane Austin, along with another studio, and it wasn't really as big as this one. We're talking about like 9,000 people all have been let go, projects have been officially canceled. This seems like a cataclysmic event upon epic proportions. Just when you think it couldn't get worse, it has gotten really bad, dude. Let's read this draft off. Xbox since 2024, the initiative shut down. Perfect Dark cancel. Everwild canceled. New ZeniMax Online Studios IP cancel. 50% of Turn 10 gone, 10% of King gone. Layoffs at Raven Software, Arcane Austin closed down. Tango Gameworks nearly lost forever until they were bought by Krafton, the same people that did the Callisto Protocol. Alpha Dog Games closed down. Roundhouse Studios closed down. Blizzard's Odyssey canceled. This is one of the biggest purgings I have seen for the Xbox brand in the longest time. Well, after words of Phil Spencer and Sarah Bond saying, oh, no one else is gonna get affected, no one else is gonna get fired, right? After Lionhead, bullshit. All right, just a load of bullshit. Personally speaking, I'm gonna say what else has happened, and then I'm gonna say what this means to me. So my friend kind of accumulated some more information here. Apparently Microsoft, the layouts are part of restructuring and to focus on AI. As if that's like fucking amazing. That's brilliant news. We lose like talented game developers, and we also lose IPs that they were marketing that apparently one of them was bullshotted with Perfect Dark, according to Kotaku. And now that's thrown out of the window. I'm gonna start here with some of the stuff I was looking forward to. Perfect Dark looked fine in my personal opinion. I wanted to play it really badly. I was invested into the classic Perfect Dark that came out all the way back forever ago when I played it on Rare Replay. And I know it came out on the N64. I didn't play it at launch during then. I played it like a little bit after at a friend's house, and then I enjoyed it. And I wanted to play the new one. And now all this bullshit. See, the thing about what makes me disillusioned with game acquisitions, and now we have game studios and game acquisitions and people being bought and stuff like that. The reason why I am disillusioned, and I'm not like Spear Hunter who says, oh, I'm disillusioned with remakes. All of a sudden now I want to go ahead and I want to glaze Resident Evil 4 remake. No, it's nothing like that. I have been very weary of these acquisition buyouts since they started doing them, dude, frequently. I think the last good one was Sony buying Insomniac. That's it. That's the last acquisition I was excited for, that I found hope in. I got to play Spider-Man. Spider-Man was cool, and that was the final one. And then everything else, it's just kind of like every pillar falling down the toilet stool. Every chain, every acquisition, especially the Microsoft ones, when they bought Bethesda and when they bought Activision, there were some positives, like, oh, being able to play COD on Game Pass, or being able to play Oblivion Remastered. They just did that not too long ago on fucking Xbox Game Pass, and thoroughly enjoying that. But the downsides is you just lose people, you lose IPs, you lose studio faith. And I'm just not excited at these acquisitions anymore. I've just, after Insomniac and Sony, that was it. That was the last one for me. And I totally mean that shit 100%. If a big corporation, especially Xbox, they go out and they buy somebody, what am I gonna get excited in? Huh? I'm gonna get excited at the possibility of seeing a new IP or a resuming existing IP that you're trying to bring back from the dead get canceled immediately? That's what I'm gonna get excited for? No. Oh, no, that's not fucking exciting. Apparently 343, they also got Layoffs as well, and they're showing off a new project apparently coming in October. I don't know what that's gonna be, but now it's like, hey, half of you get the fuck out and go home, right? It's just, come on, dude. This is incredibly disappointing. The COD studios, they got some cutoffs there. Compulsion Games, Rare, ZeniMax, King. I finally found out what King meant, because I was like, who was King? But they were a mobile division that was part of Activision Blizzard, so that solves that mystery. Let's see, 4 major layoffs in 18 months. And they say that the layoffs and restructuring could also be because of them trying to bounce back after acquiring Bethesda and Activision in such a short time. No wonder, consolidation at its finest, 100%, right? And that spillover, and I know it's probably a lot that goes into that consolidation, and it's a lot that probably goes into, oh, we have way too many people this time around. We had way too many people, but COVID was peak and all that other stuff, and you know, more and more people are getting let go. I do know that small aspect as well of some of why these people are getting laid off, but Xbox wants to focus on such a strong core. And let's see, we got more cuts and downsizing, turn 10, as they said. Staff reductions reported, especially in the live service and content teams. The initiative, man. I was a fool. I was so excited for Perfect Dark, and I think a lot of people kind of were. They saw the gameplay and they were like, yeah, you know, this looks pretty decent. I can't wait to get my hands on it. You could just mix and match and do gadgets and all that other shit. The deal with Crystal Dynamics is fucking dead, of course, and I can see why they peeled out. It's like, well, there's nothing else here anymore of us assisting you with this game. Fuck this, I'm out. I don't blame them 100%. Get out of Dodge as quick as possible, because there's gonna be no turn up for this project. This pretty much right into the coffin, put the rose in it. That's a done deal. I forget what Everwild was. Was it just another like sort of RPG? I don't know. I guess I'll skim on my phone in the process as I look for what it was, but I have a certain video that I would like to show you at the end of this one with Phil Spencer, even though my earbud like fell to the floor and I had to grab it. It's like all types of shit is happening, even personally speaking. Holy fuck, man. I've seen friends cancel their Game Pass subscriptions because of this. I know 2 people personally that's like, and they were like hardcore into what Xbox was offering on Game Pass, and even they said, no, my morals really can't speak to this anymore. I can't take it anymore. It's true and eternal pain. Oh, Everwild just looks like one of those kind of, I don't want to sound disrespectful when I say this. It's all love when I say this personally, but it does look like one of those 2D artsy mini games or cell shaded not mini games. What the fuck am I saying? Sorry, I might sound a little tired. Like I said, I'm tired. But not mini games. It's one of those cell shaded looking artsy fartsy maybe looking indies. It looks like an indie, but probably not. And Everwild. Damn, somebody in the comment section is, well. And they showed this at the Xbox Showcase at the first time 4 years ago. And this was no gameplay. This was just a presentation of how they were showing the trailer. Okay. Yeah, so like I said, I'm a little bit sleepy, so if I may forget something, I do truly apologize. Like, artsy fartsy. It just looks cel shaded and it looks kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie, I probably would have played it. I've heard apparently they debunked this rumor of Phil Spencer leaving the company, but I don't know what to believe personally. It's like after the next gen Xbox, he will possibly be retiring, working closely with Sarah Bond for her to take over as the head of Microsoft Gaming. And this was apparently debunked, but at this point, whether it's true or false, what is there to get really excited about with this brand outside of hopefully speaking they salvaged the ship? Nothing really at this point with this news. Like, maybe you have a few upcoming things. I don't know, Ninja Gaiden 4 probably, right? Ninja Gaiden 4, then the new Gears, they need to show gameplay of that. I think after such a dour note, you need a Xbox showcase that really hits it home and takes the draw to creativity and try to make the best you can with it, because this is just everybody's mad right now because of this. And I don't even think, I think the damage is kind of done for some of the brand at this point. It was kind of a twofer, right? You had the people, you had the evil within people being pissed that Tango was let go, those Hi-Fi Rush enjoyers also being kind of pissed about it. Then you had the whole Xbox ABK thing. Then you had this occur as well, just a spiraling amount of bad news. Personally, this is like a barreling train wreck after the train has exploded 5 million times. You have members of leadership putting out all their goodbye statements. Matt Fire, ironically enough, Fire within the entire studio right now, president of ZeniMax Online Studios, he put out his goodbye statement saying how he was proud of the ESO Elder Scrolls Online team. I will be cheering you on. And this is the main president here of that particular sect of the corporation, gone after 18 years. Then you have Greg Mees, Banjo-Kazooie, Sea of Thieves, director of Rare, leaving Rare after 35 years following the cancellation of Everwild. Louise O'Connor, executive producer at Rare, leaving the company alongside Mees. Just, this is not good. Okay, you could be the most diehard Xbox person in the world, and it's like that feeling hitting the back of your head, like a Persona character, where I think it's, I don't know if it's Persona or SMT, I think it's SMT, where you do the thing where you put the gun to the head, pull the trigger. This is one of those scenarios where you gotta make sure to be self-aware, and it has to click somewhere that this is just not good for Xbox. I thoroughly do believe the rumors as well, they're trying to move away from the console platform at this rate. They want to become a multimedia branch, whether it's Fire Sticks, your ROG allies, playing Xbox on your television, plugging something up. Like, the need for console is dissipating to them, and they just want to be a place of convenience, and whether the quality carries into that convenience remains to be seen. Personally, bleeding talent like this can't be good though. And there's some funny tweets that were literally posted here. This is someone who worked on Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. What studio worked on that game? Oh my god, I feel so lazy. I don't want to look it up. It's on the tip of my tongue too, as to the studio that worked on it. Isn't it's the people that did Wolfenstein? Yeah, I told you it was gonna roll right back to me eventually, like a punch in the face. I think it's Machine Games, right? Yeah, Machine Games. They worked on this game. I actually liked Indiana Jones. I'm not gonna lie. I streamed it not too long ago, and I thought it was fucking fun. You could just smack people in the head with bottles and just stealth around and just do fun Indiana Jones stuff. And then it just, once again, you see someone laid off, and then you got Phil Spencer enjoying himself on the game where he laid someone off. Now, okay, I do think, as much as this is funny, personally speaking, I'm gonna be fair here. I'm gonna be a bit fair, despite being mostly, you know, down in the dumps in this video, despite being mostly negative in this video about the state of affairs and the state of being disillusioned by acquisition after acquisition and not really seeing the payoff, especially with this company. But I will be fair to Phil Spencer. I am 99.9% sure that he is very, very hurt by this, because it's, once again, if you want an example, I would compare it to Ed Boon and WB. Ed Boon loves Mortal Kombat. Ed Boon tries to do his best for Mortal Kombat. Unfortunately, his bosses, his execs, the people that are above Ed Boon, they fuck up Mortal Kombat. You see what I'm saying? They are the ones who said, look, you know, you want to do more content for MK1, that's fine, but we have other goals in mind because we feel that Chaos Reigns failed, right? That's fine, but we're not gonna fund it. We're not gonna allow you to do what you want. We're not gonna allow the game to be fixed any further. Shut it down. And I have a no-brainer thought process. This is the same situation. Hey, Phil, as much as you love all these studios and shit like that, we gotta let people go. And you gotta announce when people are getting laid off, and we are your boss. You can do nothing about it. Those ideas you have, those lofty promises where you want to keep everybody, that's great, but it doesn't fit into our initiative, and you have to follow suit. And I do believe, you know, it's easy to point the finger. I point the finger at Phil a couple of times, you know, where I do believe, and I said this in a previous video, and I still have this opinion. You should not say things in prior interviews that you know are gonna come back to haunt you if other people override you and they're your boss. I said that's like really misleading at times, and you will see it here with Everwild. He said it before too. It's like, oh, it's unfortunate we shut down Lionhead, but we're gonna make initiative to not shut down more studios. And then Tango Gameworks gone from them, at least, but they still exist in some form. Now all these other people gone, right? And then there's this statement right here that was made on this Xbox podcast where Phil likes to get on the Xbox podcast and sort of try to feel a little better, you know, and put out some information, maybe, you know, give some information to the fans and whatnot. You got people just all around wanting to know the next big thing, and I'm gonna let it play out.
What's your answer this time to that same question? What game, just a little tease for the community, what games should people be excited about of the announced ones that have been announced that you've...
Of the announced ones?
Yeah, you don't have to give us an exclusive reveal. I mean, if you want, but...
And the other one I'll say, because I was recently out at Rare, it's nice to see the team with Everwild and the progress that they're making.
It's been a while.
You know, it's another one that it has been. And we've been able to give those teams time in what they're doing, and which is good, and still have a portfolio like we have.
Yeah.
It's like a dream that Matt and I have had for a long time. So it's finally good to be there where you can give those teams time and
give those teams time to later get fired. It's just, yeah, that's what people are gonna do. They're gonna archive statements like that. They're not gonna be happy with statements like that, especially with games they were readily looking forward to. I just early believe we have hit the dark age of Xbox Part 2, the dark days of Phil Spencer Part 2, the last of Phil, the last of Xbox, whatever you want to call it. And I just know that for the people who are all canceling Game Pass, for the Xbox fans that are really disappointed, for those that feel the sting, whether past, present, or future, I am 100% right there with you, and I resonate with your feelings 100% as a Xbox fan. Am I going to cancel in the future? That definitely remains to be determined. I believe my opinion will still be the same. I'll still stay on Game Pass, but the second they keep boosting up the sales and shit for it, which I know they will, they're gonna price hike that into the stratosphere, into oblivion, right into an literal graveyard at that point when they raise it to oblivion with the price hikes and the subscriptions. Once it gets too much for me, I think I'm done. That'll be enough. That will be my walk on the road, as Ryu does in his ending for Street Fighter 2, or one of them at least. My walk on the road to better gaming pastures, probably just upgrading my PC and that's it. Keeping around my PlayStation or getting a Switch 2. It's one thing that Tony Polanco said before, and he said, despite all this, it's kind of weird how Nintendo and Sony seem to be more stable than the Xbox brand in terms of how they are handling, you know, their own set of laying people off. And for Nintendo, I think it's like next to none. For Sony, I don't think they shut down tons of studios in quick succession like this before ever. Like, they shut down folks before, let's not get it twisted. However, on the massive scale of Xbox, and you see projects getting canceled, no, you're not seeing that from recent PlayStation. The real victims here are the ones who lost their positions, and I hope they find a job quickly and soon in this economy. And the real losers here are the people that failed them with empty promises and more empty resolve, with management stringing itself together to prevent things from happening like this time in and time out. That's all I have to say on this. Hopefully you guys do enjoy this video, and I know I feel sucked out of energy, but I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of how I feel about all of these acquisitions and what's been going on behind the scenes so far. Nothing has been impressing, just seeing talent let go, and that's it. And that's why I'm just not, I'm disillusioned with acquisitions in general, because this seems to be the end result of some of them. And I don't blame myself for feeling that way, and I'm sure other people will understand. Until then, hopefully Xbox improves, gets better. But today is another dark day. Oh yeah, one more thing. In the wake of all this, what you are getting is canceled games, but the price is raising for Xbox at about $79.99. The Outer Worlds 2 is about $80 at this rate. But games you were looking forward to, all that other stuff on the equation, that just gets fucking canceled, right? That gets, we get gouged out of more money. But when it comes to like all the games you were looking forward to, and then some of the studios getting cut down, what do you have to show for it? Microsoft, I'm just this is a logical question. What do you have to show for this complete swath of disillusionment so far? Look at this fucking trailer they released 2 weeks ago, the official next generation hardware announcement trailer. Well, what am I gonna get excited about? I'm pretty sure Sarah Bond, the devil herself. What fucking demon herself, Sarah Bond, selling me a wrong ally, and nothing else to show for it. Cancellations, you know, and Sarah Bond, I think some of her statements in the past have been very, very wishy-washy, especially when someone directly asked her about Tango Gameworks, and she just kind of alluded, oh, well, things kind of occur. Things kind of happen. And I did not like this statement whatsoever. I thought it was trash.
Want anywhere you want. That's why we're investing.
There's Xbox Play Anywhere for you right there. I might as well do a mini reaction to this, a breakdown. I have not seen this until today.
You play the games you want with the people you want anywhere you want.
Okay, one thing I will give Xbox credit on is I do enjoy going from platform to platform to platform, having the cloud saves and being able to play anywhere. If I want to move machines, devices, that's very convenient. Hats off to them. That's something I can't say anything negative about, because I hate the fact that some games don't have cross-platform progression, and therefore if I were to start over on a save on PC, I have to start the whole fucking game over, and I don't want to do that shit. I want to keep my goddamn save data and everything. That's one thing. You're gonna see small glimpses of positivity throughout this video, but mostly it's negative.
That's why we're investing in our next generation hardware lineup across console, hand.
Oh my god. You need the software to push the hardware, right? What are you pushing for the games at this point? And a lot of them has taken a major hit. What am I gonna get excited about for next generation? Nothing. I feel the same way about PlayStation 2. You really have to step your game up to invest me into next generation, because so far outside of what Capcom is doing, outside of what some PlayStation studios are doing, maybe Naughty Dog, outside of the Coalition, Gears. I'm very excited for Gears Reloaded, by the way. It's just nothing else. It's some Xbox multiplayers, and that's it. That's all I'm really looking forward to. Sorry, I had to sneeze for a second. Let's get back to this video.
Handheld, PC, cloud, and accessories. I am thrilled to share we've established a strategic multi-year partnership with AMD to co-engineer
Okay, this is just talking about, yeah, here's AMD.
silicon across a portfolio of devices, including our next generation Xbox.
Hey, here's AMD to help us out with this new Ryzen for our next. There's the AI thing. Well, that might be true with how they're pushing AI. It's right there.
Consoles in your living room and in your hands. Together with AMD, we are advancing the state of art in gaming silicon to deliver the next generation of graphics innovation to unlock a deeper level of visual quality.
And you know, that's real nice, but what games are you offering me lately? What software are you offering me? I'm gonna be a petty bitch today. I swear. Where is that at? Nothing. Layoffs. Nothing.
And immersive gameplay and player experiences. Enhanced.
What gameplay? Where's this? This video just pisses me off the more it goes into this. I love how the comments are pissed off as well. The day this launched, someone said, we here at Xbox, we want you to play next generation games on a next generation console, on a next generation TV, and a next generation living room, sitting on a next generation couch with your next generation friends. This feels like an announcement to investors rather than gamers. Yeah, because gamers mostly want to see games, and you know, the tech is nice. That's a nice secondary thing. But it's mostly about the video games being played. This could have been an email. We're here to announce a future announcement. You can just smell the sarcasm and the disappointment in the comments. Holy shit. Is the next generation in the room with us right now? This is 100% the first time she read that script from a prompter. The cadence feels like she had never seen any of these words before. Did I miss the announcement, or did they forget to edit that part in? Well, yeah, you announced a next generation console. We would expect to at least see it in some capacity. Instead, you're just gabbing on about specs.
with the power of AI, all while maintaining compatibility with your existing library of Xbox games. This is all about
Well, that's good that they're keeping all the backwards compatibility into the 4A. That's nice. I'll give a thumbs up there.
building you a gaming platform that's always with you, so you can play the games you want across devices anywhere you want, delivering you an Xbox experience not locked to a single store or tied to one device. That's why we're working closely with the Windows team to ensure that Windows is the #1 platform for gaming. The next generation of Xbox is coming to life, and this is just the beginning. We can't wait to show you what's next.
I don't care. I just don't care about next gen at this point, because current gen, as I drop stuff all around me, current gen, it's okay. I'm not gonna say there's not games that have been kind of cool, but overall, I feel like I fought 2.5 years for a PS5, and then all of a sudden, because Sony in their infinite wisdom, they decided to go the live service route. I feel like I missed out on years of games that could have been created. What the fuck is going to entice me for the next generation? You better be making Devil May Cry 6. You better make like Resident Evil Code Veronica remake day one on that fucking next generation platform, ASAP, trailer and everything out, release date and everything out immediately. That's the only way you're gonna entice me for a next generation console. You better be making top tier quality content. Otherwise, fuck that shit. Will I be enticed over nothing again? No. If I want just third-party software, I could just play on a freaking PC. What do you have to offer for first party? And that's where the disappointing venues and virtues lie with me. I'm not gonna fight tooth and nail to be in queues and in online spaces and online fucking lines and lobbies to get a console, and there's nothing else to show for it outside of just being convenienced. I think I need a little bit more than what you're trying to sell me.